Hello everybody, and welcome to this week's episode of A Week in Review. Oh, come on! So, for those of you who are new to this series on my channel, this is essentially the time where I sit down at the end of the week with my drink and I discuss how my investments have been doing and just some other stuff that I've had my eyes on. So I hope to make this a fun, interactive way to have a look at some of the investments that you might want to consider investing in and explain why I'm investing in them and how they're doing with my drink. Alright, so without further ado, we're going to head into the first segment of today's show. We're going to be having a looking at the price of gold. So I do own some gold. It makes up a small amount in its space, but a large amount in its value. And we've actually seen some interesting figures from gold this week. We've dropped from last week to 2,400, that's Australian dollars. So we're sitting at pretty much exactly 2,400 per ounce of gold for 24 karat gold. And if we have a look at how it's been doing over the last day or so, we have seen a bit of a decline. It started off pretty average, at about the 2,470. We had a bit of a spike, which was good. Been quite, up and down today. And then it continued to decrease a bit down to the 2,400 mark. I will show you that there. So you can see we have had a decent decline in the price of gold today. But if we have a look at the monthly again, we were pretty much cruising at around 2,600 for a while, and then we had a lovely spike up to about 2,700, which was very preferable, you could say. But then it continued to sort of come down a bit to the point of today's 2,400. That is pretty much the low for the last month. So that's not great, but I guess we're trying to develop a bit of stability with the price of gold. So we can hope for better, but I think at the moment, given the whole everything going on around the world, we have a bit of shakiness in the price of gold. So as pretty much all of you will know, I don't have a sponsor. But I will take this time to give a big thanks to my barber, because I've needed a haircut for a very long time, and I have to say that they did an excellent job. It's been 3 months without a haircut, and if you look at my last videos, you will see how long my hair got. I'll also take this time to ask you guys to feel free to subscribe, check out some of my other videos, and just check them out, because I'm really here to help people, and I hope that my videos can be of assistance. So without further ado, we'll head back to the next segment, silver. Alright, so we're moving on to the next segment now. We're going to have a look at silver. So silver, in a similar pattern to gold, right now at the time of filming, which I will leave in the description, we're filming on the evening of 6th of June in Australia. The price of silver as I speak is where are you going? $25.50 Australian. So honestly, not that bad at all. We have seen it go up quite a bit over the last couple of days. Over today, we've had a declining trend, as I will show you guys. So it's been a bit down today, but within silver, we're talking the matter of cents really, because given that the spot price of silver is quite low compared to gold, there's not much of a change when you look at it front on, but if you look at the percentages, then it becomes a lot more real. So over the last day, we've hit a max of 25.85. Speaking in this term, we're trying to balance it out between the ask and bid, so it's at 25. So it's been within the 25 today, just under 25 at the low, which was a mere 3 hours ago, but it's starting to recover a bit. As you can see at the very end there, we are starting to make our way back half a bit. If we're having a look at the monthly, we obviously had the massive spike on the 15th of May when we went up to $27, which was amazing, to be honest. We had a little bit down and then boom, right up again, $27.60. Down a bit again and then back up again to $27.20, and then we're starting to make our way down a bit. But what I think this might mean for us is that silver is going to maintain a slightly higher trend now. I think it's going to hover at around $25 for a while to come, and we might even see that as a permanent spot for silver for now. Obviously it's going to go up and down. If we're having a look at that in US dollars, we're sitting at around 1730, which isn't too bad at all. When I bought most of my silver, majority of my silver, the Australian spot price of silver was $23, and now we're at 25. We've gone up to almost 28. So I've seen some really good growth, and the very same dealership that I buy my bullion from, I've had a $5 growth on my American Silver Eagle in their two prices, which is pretty amazing, to be honest. It was just in the time of buying, but I've seen some good growth on my silver. It's been maturing quite well. As we know, the overall long-term trend of silver is quite varying. If we have a look at the 10-year span, we will see that massive spike back in 2011 when silver hit an amazing price of 47 US dollars. And if you can translate that into Australian, we're talking nearly $80 an ounce. And so that means that if you bought a coin at $23, which is a typical $10 premium on it, so at around $33, which I paid for one of mine, and it goes up to a whopping $80, you can tell how much of a profit we're making off that. So we're hoping that silver will make itself up a while. Obviously it's not a continuous upward trend, it's quite up and down, but I'm hoping that we will hit that soon, because that would be a real delight. So while we're on the topic of precious metals, gold and silver included, I will take the time to just mention and have a quick look at the price of platinum and palladium, the two other main types of precious metals. So platinum reads today at $1,170 an ounce. Over the past day, we've seen, if this will load, we will have seen, we've seen a general decline as well. Over the last month, however, it's been generally quite, up and down, up and down. Here is the live updates of platinum. So not great overall in the precious metals department today. Palladium at $2,724 an ounce. Again, over gold, but I do remember having a quick review of this on the last week's, and we were at like 3,000 or something. Oh, whoa. So today we've had palladium drop down as low as 2,661, which is where gold was nearly at last time we reviewed gold. We've hit a high of 2,855, and we're around that 2,800 mark. As you can see, it's quite a fluctuating metal. If we've gone within the $200 difference in the one day. Over the last month, however, if it loads over the last month, however, it's been quite up and down again. We have very, very varied prices at the moment given everything going on in the world. I hope to learn more about why these sort of things happen. Again, I'm not an expert or anything, but we will move on to the next bit where we will be having a look at something similar to precious metals, but again different. So this is a stock that I've had my eyes on, and it's essentially a ETF from Gold Mining Company, and I've heard a lot of stuff saying don't go for ETFs, they're not trustworthy, if you can only own it if it's in your hand. But that doesn't stop me from just considering things and having a look at them, because I do want to broaden my opinion on these things. So the one that I'm having a look at reads the symbol of GDX, and it is called VanEck Vectors Gold Miners ETF. So today it is at $32.50 at close. That is in US dollars, because this is a US agency. We have had it grow a fair bit over the last month or so, to be honest. Again, a bit fluctuating given everything going on. If we look at the 3 months, however, we did have a drop in everything on the March 21st mark, around there, down to 19 US. But it's really recovered itself all the way up to even 37. So it's down to 32 at the moment. And if you have a look at the yearly mark, I'll show you there. It's quite quite good. So I do have my eye on that because I want to consider, lots of different things because I need to have my options open. So that's all for that, and we'll head on to the next segment. Alright, so now we're going to be taking a look at another thing that I have my eye on and have previously owned some of, and that is S&P's IVV. So the obvious symbol is IVV, and iShares, it's an ETF, and essentially, as I explained in the last video, it invests in the top 500 companies in the US. So we were a bit concerned, as in me and some of my family, about the price of this, given everything that was going on with the current situation. I can't really mention the name because of YouTube, but as per usual with almost everything, we saw a significant drop in the price of IVV on the 18th, 20th, 21st of March, so down to $224 US for one share, and that was coming down from one of the all-time highs of $340 US. So I had bought about a year ago, and so I was very happy with the growth it had, and then it just started to come down and down and down. So we can see up there, that's the high, and then we started to drop. So I got off sometime in that peak, sometime in that decline, barely halfway. It was near mid-February, but I got off in time because in a matter of 2-3 weeks, we saw it drop in like $50 US, which is quite significant given this whole share price. But I have seen it recover quite well. We've gone from that low 240 back up to 320. And since we last had a look at it, this is since we last saw it to today, quite good. We were at, as I believe, 302 last week, and now we're at 320. So it's growing significantly well. I do predict that we might have a drop because I can't really mention a lot of these things, but given everything that's going on in the US at the moment, a lot of people are around each other, so I expect that things might deteriorate a bit. And given that, people might stop buying stuff, given that so many people have been laid off their jobs. And so I expect that this price may go down quite a bit. Again, I don't know the exact reason of any of this stuff, but I do want to look into it and learn more about it. So I'm just holding off for a while. Given that it is currently sitting at near its all-time high, it is quite overvalued. And given that we saw it drop down about 2 months ago, we have evidence that it can drop and that there is a chance it will again. So I'm going to hold off on that for now because I don't want to pay $320 US for a share price and then have it drop down to that 240 mark again, because no, that wouldn't be preferable, as for obvious reasons. But I believe that's all we have to talk about on IVV today, and that will be it for today. So that's all for today, guys. I hope that I've not bored you to death with today's episode, but if I taught you anything, or if you're interested in any of these, please feel free to leave a comment asking any questions you want to know. I hope you guys will feel inclined to check out some of my other videos, perhaps the last episode of this show, and stick around for some more. So I will continue to help everybody watching. I hope that you're all well, and until next time, goodbye.